Hi everybody, thank you very much for coming tonight, and we have a lot of information to share with you and a lot of different activities that are going to be really good for you, especially for the coming hours, not days but hours. So some of the things I want to do is just give you some background on 3I-Atlas, at least a smidgen of what I know, and you can also find out a lot of information yourselves on YouTube. YouTube is really good because it has the psychics and the scientists on there. So it's whatever you're in the mood for. If you want to get really technical, you can listen to the scientists. Most of the time, they're above my pay grade, so I usually listen to the psychics. Because then I can feel like it's more about what is going to happen to us personally than what the scientists are talking about. Anyway, 3I-Atlas, the name 3I-Atlas comes from, it's the third interstellar object that's come into our galaxy or our atmosphere, whichever it is, that we know about in history. So, and the I stands for interstellar. And then Atlas is the name of the telescope that discovered it first in July 2025. So please understand what I just said. July 2025. It wasn't years ago. It was just days ago, basically. Okay. So one of the things that we were talking about earlier is about some of the beautiful things that have come from this, even before it's actually getting into our atmosphere, is the collaboration between the scientists. So let's just say the scientists in China, again, and Japan and Russia and wherever, they're always competing. Like, oh, I found it first. Oh, my telescope's bigger. Like one of those, one-upsmanship all the time. But now this is so huge that it's like, well, what did you say? What did you say? Oh, my telescope showed us this. My telescope showed us that? So they're doing a lot of collaboration, and they're reading each other's articles and going, doing all that. But just, I guess one little thing on the downside is that it was discovered in July of 2025, and then there was massive amounts of articles written by scientists based on the data that they were collecting. And then the U.S. shut down. The government shut down in the beginning of October. So, and then it didn't open up until November something. So that put us behind because they sent the scientists home. The data was still being collected, but it wasn't being shared at all, because our scientists were sent home. And when I went to the website, it actually said that due to the U.S. government being shut down, the scientists have gone home. So that put us behind. But anyway, and so a lot of the information that was coming from the U.S. was coming from amateurs. They were, people that had super duper telescopes, but they weren't the massive telescope. They were like the $3,000 to $5,000 telescope as opposed to $1 million telescope. So some of the things that I also wanted to share as far as so you understand how this is working, or maybe have a better understanding. Let's just say that you're in a lake and you're in a paddle boat by yourself in a lake. So you know how you would look out over the lake and it would look like glass because it's not moving, right? Soon as you paddle a little bit, it makes a ripple, right? And then if you paddle fast, it makes a bigger ripple. Well, this stellar object is traveling at massive amounts of speed. In fact, back in the beginning when I first started listening to it, it said it could go from New York City to California in less than 6 seconds. Can you believe that? Like, I just can't even get my mind wrapped around that. Also, speaking of New York, this object is supposed to be 7 miles wide. It's bigger than New York, than Manhattan. So I don't even know how far 7 miles is, maybe to the canal from here, right. So yeah, that's probably about 7 miles, because I think it's like 10 miles to Route 40 or something. So probably 7 miles to the canal. Can you imagine something like that?
hurtling at that speed.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. And so anyway, so you can imagine that's the reason why we're feeling the way we do, because it's coming, and even though it's going to be the closest on Friday, it's not like it's just woke up and we're here. You know what I mean? It's coming. So it's coming and it's throwing out that energy, and it's that ripple, and that's what we're feeling, because it's so much energy that's coming through that it's affecting us. You know, I was listening to some of the people, and they said, you know, you could have migraines, you could have sinus issues, you could have GI issues, you could feel tired, you could feel fatigued, you could feel, because your body is just going through so much right now, especially if you're sensitive, which is why I wanted to share it with everyone here that wanted to come, because we're going to need to help other people. And just be aware and be able to help other people that are not as sensitive as we are. So let me see. Okay, so the other day, real quick, and then I'll move on. The main thing is, okay, so as it's traveling, imagine if we were traveling in our car from here to Maine. By the time we got to Maine, our car would look a sight, with the snow and salt and this and that all over it. Well, this thing has been traveling for millions of years. It's been traveling past many galaxies, many planets, many everything. So you can imagine all the stardust that's on it. And it's been shedding things.
Nickel.
In October, November, it was like 1 million pounds each month. It was shedding. That's how big this thing is, and it was shedding that much, right? And like Kaylee said, it's been nickel and other things. But it still has this heavy crust on it, which makes it look like a rock. And so they used a telescope that had an x-ray machine kind of on it. So they could see through the crust, kind of like when we get an x-ray, we can see through our muscle into our bones or whatever. That's kind of what they were doing. Well, when they did that, they found there were beings on there. So, and also the atmosphere or the chemical makeup of the things that are on this ship are the same that human beings need to survive. You know, all of the things, you know. I don't even know. I'm not a physicist, so...
That's the science part.
Yeah, I probably skipped ahead on that part. But yeah. But anyway, one day I was listening and it said that it had cyanide on it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's poison. And I went to my husband and I'm like, oh my God, did you hear the 3I-Atlas has cyanide on it? And he said, that's okay, because he said, there's a certain amount of cyanide that we need to create life. I'm like, okay. Well, then I'm like, okay. You know, like with one eyebrow raised, right? But a little bit later, I was listening to a scientist, and they went through everything, and they said, oh yeah, well, we need a certain amount of cyanide to create life, and or you know, for it to be a good environment for life to survive. I'm like, go ahead, Mark. You know, that's really good. You know, you did good. So, but anyway, and then another thing that I just want to let you know, and then I'll be finished, is that it's not going to hurt us. It's really just here to help us. And Violet and Katie will be able to elaborate on that and everything. But thank you for letting me share that part. I hope you found it, you know, that it was like a little bit more maybe than what you thought about before. So, but yeah. Well, thank you.
Can we open a window?
I guess so.
Will that one open?
Yeah, I can take care of it for you.
Thank you.
Who's up next?
Me first?
Yes, please.
Gotcha. You switch.
Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Violet.
Hi.
So I put together this beautiful little packet that I have now doodled all over.
Yes.
Not just to prepare for all of this energy that's been hitting us recently, but all the energy that's been hitting us this entire year. We have been going through the biggest transition of our collective consciousness in hundreds of years. Between Pluto going into Aquarius finally, which I believe is the true beginning of the age of Aquarius that they talked about, you know, back in the 60s. And also the fact that this is a number 9 year, which is literally the tying up of every loose end and every lesson and every experience that we've had over the last 9 years. So we can start fresh, clean, and clear starting next year, which would be a number 1, which is new doors opening and new blessings and all of this beautiful energy coming in. But we want to make sure that we're ready to receive all of that. So especially with the 3I-Atlas being as close as it's going to be on the new moon, the last new moon of the year, which the new moon is perfect for setting some new intentions, getting our seeds planted and ready to go for this new year energy. That's really what I wanted to focus on with this packet, is making sure that it embodied the release of the old, the redefining of what we actually want to bring in, and then the empowerment of how we can, kind of stay on top of ourselves and remember that we should believe in ourselves first and foremost, because we're all amazing and ready to get things done, especially after all of the slow movement of the last couple years. So this whole packet, there's 21 different prompts. Some are writing, some are drawing, some have some actions and activities. We're just going to do a couple. We're definitely not going to get through 21 of them, but we're going to do one of each. So one for the release, one for the defining, and one for the empowerment. And I think that this will really help just, you can take this packet home and work on this between now and the new moon, or now and the new year. And this will really help just get you in that vibe, because especially with all of the heavy energy that is coming in from the 3I-Atlas, the new moon, a lot of the astrological transits that are happening, especially now that Neptune is finally direct for the first time in, going into a new sign for the first time in 14 years. We are definitely preparing for a lot to be coming in really quickly. So this is going to be perfect to keep our heads on straight through that chaotic energy that we're going to be dealing with. So I guess we can do the activities on the back of each page, because there are perfectly 3 backs of pages. Look at that. Look at that. So let's do, we might be able to do like one short writing and one drawing of each. How's everybody feel about that? Okay. So let's do, list 3 major lessons that you have learned from your biggest challenges this year. How have these lessons prepared you for growth rather than hindered you? So even if they were intense and crazy and a struggle bus in the moments that they were happening, you came out being like, you know what? I just killed that. An old version of me would not have been able to handle that the way I just did. And how that prepared you for, this new version of yourself that you've been learning to embody throughout this new year. So this can totally be just like a quick list, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And then I always open the floor for sharing, because I think sharing is caring and caring is inspiring to other people. Okay.
You done already?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
She's like, I know the shit I've been through.
I always feel like I don't know.
Did you put the window down?
She did. Oh.
Your window.
I should put that damn window down.
Car being pain in butt.
Hey, for real. I swear I'm not farting. That's my chair.
Thank you for saying that on the thing.
I did question it for a quick second.
I knew somebody was going to.
Anybody want to share?
I'll share.
All right, what you got?
So I kind of put phrases that I always use in circumstances that I've been through this last year. So one is a reason, a season, and a lifetime, which is leaving behind old friends or stagnant energy that I once held for somebody and they didn't show loyalty or they didn't show any kind of recommendation or accountability for self. So I had to let go of people. Hold on, pain ends. That is a mental health saying. I struggle with my mental health a lot. And that is one thing that I have to get through every day. And I've been doing it. And I'm getting more help as time comes. And then the last one, you don't need a permanent ending to a temporary problem. That also refers to my mental health. And when there's SI ideations or stuff like that. I remember things like that.
Love it. Love it. And all of that has just brought you so much self-awareness to power through even more and recognize like where you might fall a little short and need that extra support, you know? And then you found out exactly who's going to be supporting you through that, which I think is so important to bring into this new year energy. You know, why bring in the old support system that was not supportive when you're trying to hit the ground running and get some stuff done? You know?
Exactly.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
I'll go. So learning to listen more, like listen better, because I have a tendency to just like kind of shut things out and just move on, you know, just do your normal daily thing. But when I really hear people, I tend to learn new things, and then also it leads into me being a little bit patient, which is my second one, to be more patient, to learn that things will come in time, not to rush them, because sometimes when I rush, there could have been a different outcome if I had just had that patience. So I need that, and then also standing up for myself and setting boundaries and speaking up when things don't feel good to me, to express that.
Yes.
That's everything. Oh my God, exactly what I felt this year.
Yes.
Yeah, and for a while that was like ditto.
And that's going to help like get a lot of stuff done next year too. Next year is in the Chinese zodiac, the fire horse. So it's literally going to set our world on literal fire. After the shedding of this year, next year we really get to embody and shine as these new versions of ourselves. And now that you know, I don't want to miss out on stuff, so I got to listen and make sure that I'm on track. I got to be patient and make sure that I'm paying attention to what I could have instead of just what, you know, is either easiest or most comfortable, or, you know, what just makes sense in that exact moment when I don't have all the information. Love, love, love. Anybody else? You got the sisterly side I've like, I just shared, you better share.
Just recently I was meditating, and it's old keys don't open new doors. And so what's funny is my niece, her daughter, saw my phone, my screensaver. She's like, why is there a picture of a door on your phone? You know, and it's like just a reminder. I put it on there just recently because I have to look at that door. It's a reminder every time I look at my phone.
Right.
I need to change old habits, old thought processes, anything bad that doesn't serve me. I need to create a new key to open a new door to the life that I want.
Yes.
Amen.
So, old keys don't open new doors, and then let go of what doesn't belong to me. So, like, I'm a supervisor, and I'm an empath, so it's, I don't recommend that if you're an empath. Be a supervisor. Like, it's just not. I know I have to make decisions that affects people, and they're not happy about it.
Right.
And it doesn't make me feel good to know that I caused them this pain. But it's not mine to own. So I was like, you know, I gotta give it back. I'm sorry.
Right.
You're gonna need to figure out what to do with that. You have the choices and the decisions. Like it's your choice to make. You either stay here and do what I'm asking of you,
Right.
or don't, and then you can go, and that's okay too. So I think that was like really big for me, is just like letting go of what doesn't belong to me.
Yeah.
And recognizing this is not mine.
Right.
This needs to go.
I think we all struggle with that as women. I think it's just, I mean, I know I do. that's my biggest thing, is I let everything affect me, and some days I can't get out of that, putting everybody's issues and feelings on myself and not understanding what I need, taking care of what I need to do and for myself. And so I understand 100%. Like, that's just, I wrote it down, that old keys don't open new doors.
Yeah, me too.
I'm writing that down and putting that on my wall. That is so good.
And I just started with that mentality, like, you're supposed to visualize the life that you want to live on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of key are you going to create to open that door?
Right.
What are you going to do? What does that key look like? How are you going to shape that key? So I actually called out of work, and I came in here that night with my sister. She had Reiki done, and my son had Reiki, and we did the yoga. I remember the word, we did our eagle pose, and you're like, this is freedom, and I'm like, yes. Like, I saw that word. Yeah. So the other side of the door is my freedom. Like, it's the job that I want that will allow for me to have the freedom to be with my family, because that is my true purpose and passion.
Love that.
So, like, I'm just, like, visualizing that door when I see it, what's on the other side.
Right.
How am I going to get there? I updated my resume. I applied for jobs. I'm reaching out to people. So creating that key means what are you going to do? So for me, it was action.
Yes.
I need to take action. I can't sit here in this hamster wheel and continue to do the same repetitious thing over and over and expect a different outcome.
Right.
So taking action is probably the biggest thing. So, like, that's what I'm, like, driven towards right now, is just taking action and tapping into my spirituality, which is why I'm here.
If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yep.
That's right.
And doing the same
100%.
thing over and over and expecting a different result
Is
is
insanity.
insanity.
Yeah.
So, and interestingly enough, I have a prompt that's about a door. So why don't we do that one?
Which one is that?
So it's the second one. So it's draw a container. So it does say, like, a box, a balloon, but it does say a closed door. And then there is another one about a door that we'll do later. And label it with the things you're ready to discard. So draw that door open so that once you're done writing everything on the inside, you can close it. Because we're done. We're closing this decade off. We are done. It has been a crazy, chaotic, ridiculous decade, and we're just gonna, finish it off for good. So all the things that you're ready to discard, like disappointment, fear, old habits, and once done, we can symbolically tear it up, cross it out, draw something to represent over top of it, which could maybe be like the door being closed over top of those words now. It's beautiful. Can you tell it's a door? That's all that matters.
You can tell at the door. I put shuck that shit. You put pop.
My balloon goes pop.
My door
Love
shuts.
that.
Shut that ish.
And then however you kind of see fit to, you know, cross things out or make it feel like you are covering that stuff up and getting rid of it. Because we've been holding on to a lot, not just this year. You know, think of the wounds and the experiences and the things that have really been brought up inside of your heart and soul over the last couple years. You know, a lot has been leading up to this transition for us. I'm going to say at least last 5 years. I mean, 2020 really, like, not just the pandemic, like the energy was just like, bam. What do you really want now that, you know, a lot of us just had time to sit and think and not, you know, be caught up in the hustle and bustle of life? You know, you truly realize what you would rather be doing when you're not stuck doing what you have to do. So, we're closing this door. We're going to close this door. Bam, bam. Done. So that was the release part. So we're just going to leave that behind. We're not even going to talk about it. That door's closed, okay? So now this is the intention part, okay? Let's see. So we're going to write down 3 concrete actions that we can make the very first week of the new year that will align with one of our biggest goals. And we want to make them simple. If that's literally like drink a singular bottle of water because you ain't drinking enough water, you know, or like walk in place for 5 minutes. You don't want to throw yourself into a 2-hour workout routine if you're just getting into it. So these simple steps are going to be about something that you will be able to maintain to reach that goal. And mine is always drinking more water because your girl struggles and she's thirsty. And if they align, if like, you know, one action aligns with different goals or like they all align with different goals, like that's totally fine too. You know what I mean?
I said, write a poem to myself for the year.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think that sounds awesome.
We should do a workshop.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%.
Poem workshop.
We should have open mic.
That would be cool.
And
You in?
I'm in.
So in the month of May, just to selfishly promote for a second, me and my friend who lives in California are actually going to be doing a month-long poetry prompt. So every single day we're going to be posting prompts, and it's going to be utilizing all different types of poetry, because, you know, poetry is so much more than rhyming and, you know, things like that. So it's going to be like kind of challenging because some of them are hard. She's so smart because there were some that I was like writing down. I'm like, girl, you're going to have to explain this kind of poetry to me because I'm not getting it. It's like A, A, B, B, C, C, and then it switches to like D, D, F, F, G, G. And it's like, I'm just like, I don't know what this is saying right now. But so that's going to be the whole month of May. So if you're down for art, for poetry, but then if you're down for art, me and another friend who lives in Georgia are going to be doing a month-long art thing. So every day is a art prompt.
What month is that?
January.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. My husband will do the poetry one.
Perfect.
He
And then
likes
January,
poetry.
we're also doing that vision board day. So we're going to be all getting our supplies together and making some vision boards. So, you know, there are definitely plenty of resources to help us get to where we want to go when we are not feeling, you know, the motivation to keep ourselves on track. So does anybody want to share their 3 actions?
I said go to bed earlier.
That's a good one. That's a
Because
good
then I
one.
won't eat either.
Yeah, that's.
You know, like and you know, because I get bored.
Yep.
I said minor exercise for weight loss because I'm about to start the shot.
Nice.
Drink more water and write a poem to myself for the year.
Love.
I said to meditate every day,
Okay.
which I'm doing good. I think I'm on 12 days straight.
Perfect.
One thing for myself, whether it be physically, like walking, yoga, lifting weights, just something physically to get my body moving.
Right.
And then one thing for finances, like that's one of my weaknesses. So like I want to say to myself, what was the one thing I did for myself physically, and then one thing I did for myself financially today.
Okay.
Whether that be I take a look at my bank account or log into my retirement fund. Like,
Right.
keeping the awareness of the finances at the forefront to help build that financial future that I want.
Okay.
Which actually at 8 o'clock I have an appointment with a financial person to help me budget.
Perfect. Hey, that's the
you.
perfect way to set it up.
That's good, yeah.
It's like I need you to worry about my finances. Okay, thank you.
That'd be nice. Yeah, so I didn't have to do it. I said stretch, meditate, and positive affirmations every day about myself. Something
Beautiful.
because I need to start boosting my confidence.
Yes.
Yes.
I like
I
that.
love that.
You should join the poetry club.
She's
I
very
used to write lots of poetry.
artistic, creative.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know. I do have a poetry side to me too. Actually.
That'd be good. It's a
Yes.
community.
Yeah, instead of having a book club, you could have a poetry club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Especially with slam poetry, that's my jam.
Love
I never heard of that.
It's when
it.
they're very, very emotionally visualizing and saying how they feel. They might cry, they might yell, they might scream, they might talk, they might whisper,
Wow.
but they go through different emotions throughout the whole poem.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my.
Very,
I love slam poetry.
Message justice oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's very intense. Can be.
yeah, and affirming it can be.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
If you ever want an example, button poetry, BUTTON poetry online. That's all slam poetry,
Okay.
so you can check it out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just kick your bag. That's not your bag. It's Lila's.
So go ahead.
Anybody else?
You want to share your 3 actions? I figure we almost made it all the way around.
I was gonna say I wrote down 3 specific yoga poses that I want to do at least 3 times that week. I put a specific time that I want to meditate each day,
Okay.
and like Reba put down the adequate number of hours in
Yeah.
5 days that week.
Right. It's hard.
So hard.
It's hard to like just unplug.
Well, unplug and eat so that you don't have hot flashes at 2 in the morning.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to dress appropriately, otherwise you'll wake up several times, kicking off the covers, pulling them back on.
Yeah.
Tylenol PM works really well with that. It does. At least you get good 4 hours.
Loaded.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
35. Can I go through
I know.
perimenopause?
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Because I swear I am.
Actually, yeah, start in your 30s.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I'm
I
over
just
here
heard
like
that.
dying to death. Like
I know.
it's so hot.
Well, and temperature dysregulation is another whole other conversation.
Yeah.
That's right.
That
Energy too.
Mm.
Energy can
Also
really
true.
dysregulate us a lot.
That's for sure.
and,
All right, Molly.
and fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I said the first one, eat better and just really start focusing on what I need, because I did blood work and my sugar is a little high and I don't want to go down that road. So I really need to kick my butt in gear and do that, because I love chocolate and I have a sweet tooth and it's killing me and I can't.
Right, like literally.
My family has a history of it, and I knew it, and I don't know what it's been the last couple years. Just after I turned 40, it's just I can't. As much as I exercise, as much as I try, it just doesn't feel like anything is happening.
I'll be
So-
your sugar accountability partner, single.
Yeah, and so that's one of my biggest things that I struggle with, and I really need to get that into a consistent, and I can do all the right things, and then one weekend and everything is good, and then like that week goes by, and then I'm like, crap, like I gotta start all over again every week and being consistent, and that's my.
Or you give yourself that one like
little,
this is
like,
just my sweet
yeah,
treat, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's been 3 weeks
Yeah.
of sweet treat.
I mean, there's so.
Are you talking to me?
Right.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, that's my biggest thing, and that's just been ongoing. I've always had issues with my weight and body image. When I was growing up, I was always told I was fat. Just Indian culture, they like the girls light skinned and skinny, and I was not that at all. And so I had the worst body image and self confidence, and I had some trauma when I was young. But that's one of the things that, you know, I'm on anxiety medicine, but like the meditating and, you know, just really focusing on spirituality is really helping me with that. And so, but anyway, it all stems from trying to maintain, you know, I don't even need to be skinny. Like, I just need to be where I'm comfortable and it's healthy, you know, like up to according to my body.
But also remember, you have to love yourself through that whole process.
Yeah,
too.
I know, and that's one of the things I struggle with. But,
It's hard.
And then you're in a good place because we love you.
Yeah, and my husband's great, and he's very supportive,
yes, he is.
and
He's adorable.
He never makes me feel the way I feel inside. Like he always, no matter what. And I have such a hard time accepting it and allowing myself to agree to it, just because of all of the past trauma. And so that's the other thing. But and then just to put myself more out there in my world. Like this is like the first step. Like I said, I don't ever go anywhere. And then I would complain like I don't have my people, and then it's like you know, and after I met Reba, like everything just it was just that one little push that I needed, or just like that door opening, or you know, just and that I owe it to her. So I'm not gonna cry.
maybe later.
Maybe later.
Your turn.
I'm good. I don't want to share.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right.
No problem.
I just said drink water, find more like events that I can lecture and teach at that are further away, and then submit a couple of my decks to some awards.
Yay! Awesome. Your decks are
So,
beautiful.
Thank you.
They are.
I'm very excited. So I'm gonna tap your phone because I can't see the time on mine. So let's just do one of the empowerment ones real quick so that we can tie it up and jump into our next activity. And then you'll just have so many more to do
It's a
on your
great
own.
Yeah, it's a really
great
good
list.
put
Thank you.
together list.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I love this. Identify 3 people, places, or activities that consistently recharge your energy. How can you intentionally invite more of these charging stations, love that, into your weekly schedule? And especially with how fiery next year is, it's going to be real easy to get like kind of that burnout feeling, because you know, imagine right now we're just kind of burning the candle at both ends, and next year we're just going to be candles in a room of fire. So we're going to have to know how to keep ourselves maintained with our energy. So I'll just share mine. My people are my husband and my dog. The places are just traveling. I don't know where I want to go in this world yet to call home, but it's not here. I've been here my whole life, and this is not, the place where I feel like I can necessarily thrive in the way that
You want
I desire to.
Right.
And then activities, teaching classes, creating decks, making courses, and learning new things.
That's awesome.
Can I tell you mine?
Yeah, of course. Everybody tell me all of yours.
So my person was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other two were the moon and the ocean.
That's our girl right there.
I know, Mother
That's our
Moon.
girl.
I always feel full on a good moon.
Every time she's out, I'm just like,
I know.
what's up, baby?
I talk to
You
her.
looking fine.
I talk to her. I'm like, but the
Every
ocean
time.
at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be at
specifically
nighttime.
Mm-hmm. It's a vibe.
Not during the day, at night. When all the stars are out, there's no light pollution. That's what I like.
When I was in, where was it? I think I was in one of the beaches in Jersey. And it was nighttime and it was a full moon. And you could literally right on the edges, before the light pollution from because we were in the middle. So it was Wildwood on one side and then Atlantic City on the other. And we were kind of in the middle. You could see a little bit of the galaxy edge.
Cool. Wow.
Like almost in an arc in the sky. And
That's
I was
amazing.
just and it was a full moon. So my witchy self was just
I want to go to Alaska so bad to see the northern lights.
Yeah.
That's a dream of mine. Go to Alaska.
I saw them from a plane one time.
Did you?
I want to see them live in person.
Yeah.
When they were coming down into the country, was it this past summer?
It happened a
We
bunch
had
of
a
times
couple.
this year.
We had a
Yeah.
couple solar bursts that brought them down.
They were coming real far south.
Was it after July?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, there was
happened.
just one a week or
It was
the
fairly
last
recent.
week or
Yeah.
the week
It was,
before that.
it must have been either in the spring or last year because I was in my old house.
Mm.
And we would go.
There's been a couple solar flares though.
That's
Yeah.
after. That's 3I-Atlas.
Yeah. Throughout this whole year, there's been explosions and all these crazy storms that are bringing down, which I think is 3I-Atlas too.
Yeah.
Sending energy to the sun, projecting the energy off of the sun onto beings.
And then that's also what's affecting the Schumann resonance because
Yes.
it's been absolutely crazy this year.
Yeah.
Especially with the breaks in it where it just blacks out for hours. Maybe there was one
Can you
where it was a
explain
full
it
day.
again?
The Schumann resonance is the frequency of the Earth, of the planet. So it's supposed to be able to let us know, as a collective, why we might be experiencing the energy that we are. Days where we're just whoa, I woke up and I feel like I got punched in the face.
Right.
Sometimes you can look and see that there's been a huge spike.
Or a blackout.
Or a blackout, yeah.
Yeah.
And they say that the blackouts are supposed to be time jumps, timeline shifts. And there's been so many blackouts this year, which I think is good because I think we've all
makes sense.
I
I consider the blackouts if you took a computer system and just unplugged it so that it can
Right.
recalibrate and then plug it back in. It's
Right.
You know what? Somebody I was
Did
listening
you
to
turn the
somebody.
whole back on again?
Yeah, right. I was listening to somebody and they said that this 2025 was the fastest year.
It was a really,
And if it was
it was
and
a
then-
really fast year.
Yeah.
So with those blackouts, and then it would be time jumps.
Right.
And you said that there were so many, then that makes perfect sense.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they said it was just like that.
Yeah.
like
Time is
it was
relative.
the fastest
It really
year.
did go by really fast.
Yeah, because
But
I
then,
would be wake up and it would be the 15th all the time. And then it would be the end of the month, and then the 15th again, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was how did this happen so fast?
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was good, but some of it was wow,
And next year's going to feel even faster. Because it's really going to be it's going to feel very split decision, spontaneous action. This opportunity is right here in front of you right now. You either do it or you don't. That's why this year has been get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Stopping yourself from feeling like you deserve what you want, because you do, you know. So where were we in our sharing line?
Okay.
Yeah, one thing for me that recharges is like my immediate family, like my daughter, my son, and my husband. My daughter is already living on her own. My husband's traveling, so like half of my people left.
Right.
So, and my daughter's like my person. Her and I laugh at the stupidest things at the same time. Like it's just, so I have this huge void. And so that's why I want to create a job where I can work remote, which will allow me the freedom to move about with my family and be with them. Like my son is still in school when he's got breaks.
Right.
We can go with my daughter or my husband, you know. So that also fills my cup. Extended family. We were just with extended family last weekend. Being around cousins that you grew up with, they're like your siblings. And then seeing them, you know, it's very nostalgic. I love nostalgia. And then just being able to engage spiritually. I love looking for signs. I love thinking something and then like, give me a sign, an angel sign or something. And then I see a number and then I search it. I'm like, yes.
Love that.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you, you know. So I love that. And I'm like, that just makes me so excited that I want more of it. So I want to focus on more of that.
Love.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I said seeing family and friends, getting out, going out, because I really didn't go out for like long time. I never really go out unless it's like a shopping, but I've been seeing family that I haven't seen in a while, and it's been making me like remember like all the good times like our family had and stuff like that. So I like doing that, and then just doing some things that fell to the wayside, like when, you know, because you're raising a family, you just forget who you used to be, and things I found fun, painting or bowling or, you know, like swimming or just, you know, doing those types of things, reading. I was a voracious reader too. And then I forget, like, I like to sing and dance and, you know, do all these types of things. Again, just bringing it back to, like, being more like a kid again, or, you know, just reliving the fun moments and the fun times. I forget to have fun.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I told my cousin to watch, and she said that there's no sound. She said, does someone have purple hair? I said, yes, that's it.
It says the sound is on. Oh no.
We can probably pull it up.
Letting us know.
Yeah, she just said to me, because I said, and she said, does she have purple hair? There's no sound.
Yeah, it says
Let
the
me
sound's
see if we
on.
can go on,
Okay.
and then.
Everybody's looking at you right now.
Well
Does anyone
done.
respond? Like, does anyone put comments?
Nobody's. Teresa said nice.
Oh, okay.
So
Is that Angela?
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's all.
Okay.
But I don't. But they didn't mention anything about sound or anything though.
Okay. Maybe it's just.
Maybe it's just her. Because she can't hear me say it. Huh?
Well, I do know that I do keep getting a slow connection thing pop up. So I don't know if maybe she caught it at a slow connection moment or.
You're probably fine.
Maybe her phone isn't paired right. Because
We'll see.
3I-Atlas.
Yeah, because
Big energy.
Yeah. Yep. She's actually a medium, a psychic, a Reiki master. So I had a feeling she would probably want to check it out.
Is she local?
She's in New York.
Well, I did. Even if there's no sound, I did post. I did post all of these on all my social medias too. So if she still wants to download it or something like that, they are all still there. So.
You know what I was thinking too? What came to me when you were talking about all those things that you wanted to remember to do that you haven't done for a while or whatever. I think that it's really important to continue being you, even with family, because it's also being a model for our children that we do need to continue being who we are.
Right.
And that my mom is awesome because my mom is involved in this and this and this and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's really good for you to continue to do that and to have your own friends, you know, and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to be a person,
Right.
not just their mom.
Right. because you tend to lose yourself when you are a mom.
Absolutely.
You put everybody, you know, ahead of you.
Yeah, and you have to, right? Because sometimes when it depends on how old they are, as to how much attention they need, and you know, obviously you're gonna do what you have to do, you know, and then that ebbs and flows even when they're older, right? If they're having a crisis or whatever, you need to be there, of course, but you still can be. You just need to model how you want them to be too. You know, like, do you want them to be strong? Do you want them to be like strong women raise strong women?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a little plaque that says that at home.
Aww.
Strong women raise strong women who raise strong women. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that, exactly. You know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even like when you're like me, when I'm with my granddaughters, it's like we have the best time. But they know that, like, you know, that I have things and then I get to share with them things that are going on. Like, you know, they like to hear that too.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, so just keep doing you. You're good.
Okay.
Seriously. And it's good to show them, I think, too, that you can be passionate about things. You know, like you can, you know, besides them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think my kids were a little shocked that the night of the art show, because I was talking to you and I started crying. My daughter was like, "Why is she crying?" Like, I think they just never seen me, and it's true, because this whole time I've always been their mom. I've just always been there at their games, at their chorus concerts, like everything, like. And then now they were at something for me, and it was, I think they were just like, oh, okay.
It's so easy to sacrifice everything for other people, not even just kids, like family, friends. Like, it's so easy to give to other people and put yourself to the wayside. Yeah. You know, and I think that a lot of the generational wounds that a lot of us are here to break is that sacrifice, you know, and recognizing that we can't keep sacrificing for people who are unable to give that back to us, or to have better experiences with us, or to break their own wounds that keep being directed in our path, you know, since we're working on ours. So it's definitely been a very intense, like, generational wound breaking year as well, which I think I always have themes in my readings throughout a year. And a huge theme has been letting go of people. Like, just get rid of them. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care who it is. Like, it's time to remove them from your life, because they haven't made you feel good in a very long time. You know, so stop justifying other people's actions and excuses when they don't align to your highest truth and path. And then the generational issues, like a lot of ancestors coming through and being like, you got this, like, just knowing that your healing ripples out into generations, into lifetimes. You know, your healing right now is also healing other lifetimes that you've lived, that your parents have lived, that it's literally, you know, when you raise one vibration, it raises all vibration. So.
And you know what? Sometimes people will let you sacrifice.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do.
You know, like, and they're okay.
Yeah, the people who get mad about your boundaries are the people who want to pay no attention to them.
Exactly. Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
Which is good. I thank them for showing me who they are
Exactly.
and go a different direction.
Yep. Thank you for the true colors. I don't want to paint with that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's not the color I'm looking for today, right?
Yeah.
Do not want your poopy brown.
Is it okay if we move into the meditation piece, just because I don't want to go too
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would love that.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you for all of this. This is amazing and beautiful. Here, we'll play musical chairs. And I'm definitely going to be using this.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you all use this leading up to this new year, and you know, I see you guys in the future for it.
And if you need a one-on-one, well, it's totally ready for you. Right? If you need that.
Yeah, in the back of the packet there is a code for any online service that I offer on my website from now until the end of the year. So,
Let's see.
Don't let old patterns follow you any longer. That's why they came out this year. Check them at the door.
Okay.
And then shut it.
Ready to shut that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I did want to talk a little bit about levels of awareness and like as we raise our frequency, just in case not everybody's on that page or understanding what it means to like raise your frequency, right? So it's moving from one vibrational field into another or next. And there's actually this researcher, David Hawkins, who has this really cool consciousness scale where he shows vibration of the lower levels is like fear, scarcity, pain, things that we live in those vibrations. And then as you move up, right? So in like the middle part of the scale, it's where your transformation flow is, and it's coming into more courage and confidence. And then you move all the way up, which is pure consciousness and unconditional love and those beautiful, blissful feelings that we can feel. Obviously, we can't live there 100% of the time. It would be absolutely amazing if we could, but not realistic. And we ebb and flow as we move through the consciousness scale, and the more awareness that comes, the more that we stay more steady on the scale. We don't always go back into that fear and those pain cycles of the lower consciousness. And basically that's what we would call or consider the 3D. So if you hear people say like 3D reality or living in the 3D, it's very much your material world that's around you, and then living in those cycles of more pain, fear, and things like that. So it's important to note that as we move through these dimensional frequency shifts that happen from the 3I-Atlas and from these solar flares and the Schumann resonance frequency and new moons and full moons and all these big things that hit us, that we can experience what's considered ascension symptoms. So Reba talked a little bit about ascension symptoms, and everyone experiences them in a different way. So it's just like being that, again, that awareness, being more aware of like shifts that are happening within you, maybe different habit changes, maybe seeing things from a different perspective and being like, I didn't used to think about that in that way. It can also be habit shifts. It can also be losing a complete interest in like certain foods or habits or behaviors or people even. And it's just this sort of sudden awareness or a shift where you're like, wow, I just want to do this differently now. And it's very important to realize too, so like she was talking about some of the physical ones that can happen. If you ever feel like you have something like wrong, of course go get it checked out, but they can also mirror those lower vibrationals, like living in the 3D reality with fear. So like headaches, going through old pain cycles, feeling nauseous, feeling tired, feeling there's so many different ones that can happen. So I would say it's important to ask yourself, and usually, I mean, our higher self knows. So if you ask yourself like, hey, am I experiencing this because this is me just like raising my awareness, my sensitivities are heightened, or is there something wrong with me? Your being will be able to tell you what's going on with you. So yeah, higher sensitivity towards environments, food, people, also sound and light. That can be a huge shift in your frequency of just being way more sensitive to those things. And then really the most important thing to remember, or one of the most important things to remember, that when you're raising your vibration, it doesn't mean you're bypassing emotions. I like, Violet, how you had a lot of like kind of shadow working things in here. Yeah, so it's like that's really
my whole business.
Yeah. So it's integration, right? Because you can't have light without darkness. Right. You can't have darkness without light. And so it's learning how to embody and move through some of these things that we experience as humans, and we're going to continue to experience as humans, because last time I checked, we're still humans. Exactly. And learning how you can essentially alchemize those things. And that's why art, poetry, all these things we spoke about is so important, because you literally can have it go through this alchemy process where you can transmute it into something powerful, something that gives you energy, something that helps others heal, that helps you heal, and just like you spoke about with the ripple and the vibration that keeps giving and giving. So learning how to shift those emotions. It's not about being positive all the time, like we said. It's also not about escaping the body, right? It's embodiment is very much about figuring out how to live inside this vessel, this little tube thing that we have while we're here with our consciousness, and how to utilize it in the best way that serves us. So again, with some of this goal setting things too that Violet had us do, really like this body is a tool. So like learning how to use this tool in the best way that's going to help us, going to help others, and help us to heal. And then again, another point too, that it's not about like being above others, or, you know, there's no above or below or ahead or behind. It's awareness, and I like to think of it more like a web or a net where we all connect in these different ways, and we all have different things to teach each other. And so as we raise in our awareness, that's the point of moving from 3D, we move to 4D, where it's more embodiment of these emotional aspects within ourselves, recognizing our pain cycles, our pain bodies, the stories that we live by. And then from there, 5D, and 5D is embodying this unconditional love frequency, this consciousness of just awareness of others, awareness of ourselves, and working together. So what Reba was talking about with the scientists in 3I-Atlas all over the world working with each other, it's beautiful because that's this move into 5D consciousness, or as Violet was talking about earlier, the age of Aquarius, which is the embodiment of unity, love, and equality. So really anchoring in those frequencies. Okay, that's all that in a nutshell.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but I try to keep it concise.
But it's so good. It's like we're totally.
It doesn't have to be
makes
difficult,
sense.
right?
Yeah,
It's simple, not easy, but it is simple.
Yeah.
We just have to be reminded.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe we could all do that for each other. It's just to continuously remind each other.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so from there, I'm going to lead you guys through an Aquarian Fire healing meditation that's going to just help to anchor us, ground in these frequencies that we're receiving. So get yourself into a settled place. You can ground your soles of your feet on the earth, on the ground below. And if it feels safe, to start to close down the eyes.
You want me to turn the light down?
Sure, yeah, we can do that.
Is everybody okay with that?
What if next week?
Is that good?
I've got a light coming.
Oh, you got like a crew.
It's
like,
ooh,
spooky.
I like
It's a
it. Is everybody okay?
mystic.
Is everybody good with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Totally.
And it will cool
We
down
still don't even
too.
know if there's any sound on here. So.
No, right, true. We don't know. Maybe you hear me, maybe you don't.
Yeah. We're just gonna imagination.
I love it.
SpongeBob.
Okay, so grounding down, and if it feels safe enough to close down the eyes, you can do so. Otherwise, you can pick a place in front of you to just sort of gaze at lightly, and just begin to relax the body, maybe noticing if there's a place that you can soften just a little bit more. Maybe you could relax the muscles behind the eyes. Maybe you could unclench your jaw or loosen your tongue inside of your mouth. Softening the back of your neck, releasing your shoulders, and anchoring down in your sit bones as you find length in your spine and a clear channel. And beginning to deepen the breath. And beginning to breathe some nice full breaths all the way from the bottom of that breath all the way to the top of it, nice and full. And then as you exhale, just releasing and letting it go. Full body breath in and letting it go. We're going to take one more nice, really big breath together and have this be the biggest breath you've taken all day long. And then release it. good, and beginning to relax the body even just a little bit more. So from here, I'm going to go through a little bit of imaginative prompts where you can imagine them in your own mind as I speak them, or you can just listen to the words that I'm speaking. Because not everybody can picture or visualize, and that's okay. And you can just embody them as I speak the words. So if you're able to, imagine that you have roots that are beginning to grow from your feet down into the earth, anchoring you in your oneness with Mama Gaia, with the Divine Mother. And you can imagine that those root systems are conjoining in with other roots of plants and trees, connecting in with the mycelial network, and connecting you in with that whole underground network of communication and information, anchoring you and supporting you. And if you can begin to feel those roots moving up through your legs, all the way up into the base of your body, maybe even imagining those roots connecting from the base of your root chakra, and also connecting in with that earth energy. You can imagine the roots moving up through the body, just being a part of your being and integrating. Next, from the root, we're actually going to move our awareness all the way up into the crown, right at the top of the head. And you're going to imagine a 1,000-petaled lotus beginning to unfold at the top of the crown. And as you're beginning to watch it unfurl and open, we're going to be able to start to visualize or conceptualize the frequencies that are coming down below from the cosmos into our being. Whatever geometric codes, colors, light, or energy, material that's coming down, and we're setting the intention with the holy fire that it is integrating in a way that's digestible for us, in a way that's manageable for us, in a way that brings us into full alignment with our being, the way that's right for us. And you can feel those frequencies coming down and even reaching from through the crown chakra below to all of the other chakras down your central channel, mirroring the spine, meeting all the way into those roots. Feeling these light code frequencies anchoring down, staying connected to the breath. And then from here, we're going to stretch out into our auric field, intending to seal all of our auric fields from anything, any types of energies that are chaotic or unstable or causing any disturbance or blockages in any way, and just allowing for that field to seal up in each of us. And choosing a color, whatever color first comes to your mind, to begin to feel your auric frequency with. Filling up the whole auric field like a bubble of light surrounding you. And this is your light of protection. This is your light of guidance. And this light is going to help anchor in these frequencies. You can even begin to imagine that this auric field begins growing and stretching, taking up space. So frequently we allow ourselves to be small, but allow this light, allow this field to stretch as far or as expansive as you would like it to stretch. Maybe even practicing stretching it a little bit wider than you would have yourself do. Taking a nice breath in as you anchor this frequency in. And now closing the lotus at the top of the head as we begin to close in these healing energies and anchor the field into our body and being. The field is sealed within all of us individually, allowing for regulation and balance. And taking a nice full-bodied breath in as you begin to anchor these frequencies on an even deeper level of embodiment. And letting it go. And very gently, you can begin to bring yourself back into awareness. Beginning to wiggle fingers and toes. Deepen the breath. And when you're ready, coming back into the space. So that we sent the holy fire through everybody, which is a type of Reiki. So it's that universal energy to help you guys feel all the things that I spoke, and to allow you to feel grounded through this time as much as possible.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
Soothing voice.
Yeah, she has a perfect
All
meditation
day. Oh
voice.
my goodness.
Perfect meditation voice.
I felt myself nod for a
So
second.
soft.
With the light on
Yeah.
too, which is very.
Yeah.
And you'll probably sleep really good tonight, hopefully.
I hope
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was
You're very
amazing.
welcome.
I just have to run because I have
Yeah, no
an
worries.
appointment with this financial person.
Oh yeah, I hope that goes super well.
Good luck.
Keep your shit together.
May it be.
Huh?